Please be seated for the eulogy read by Mr. Kenneth Walters. This will be followed by a tribute offered by Miss Amanda Walters.
The Honorable Prime Minister, Mayor Motley, Deputy Prime Minister Sandy Bradshaw, senior ministers and members of Cabinet, Leader of the Opposition, Ralph Thorne, former Prime Minister Mr. Freundel Stewart, members of the Party Corps, members of the Judiciary, members of Parliament, senior government officials, members of the family of the late Arni Walters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Arni Bernardo Walters of the Mount St. George family of St. Hill St. Patrick's Christ Church, at the age of 77, died peacefully in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on Sunday, January 19, 2025. He was the son of the late Bersdene Walters and Gordon Walters, and husband of Anita Walters, father of Dr. Denise Walters Payne, a dentist, Ian Walters, an engineer, both of the UK, and Amanda Walters, a chef at Sandy Lane Hotel, and grandfather of Marlena, Georgia, Kena, Jolie, all of the UK, and Zane. Arni was the brother of Diana Squires, retired public health sister, St. Philip, June Walters, a retired executive secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, and Kenneth Walters, retired campus registrar of the University of West Indies Cayfield campus. He's uncle of Dwayne, Dave, Mark Squires, Bobby Jackson and Shaka Walters, Sherry Walters Belgrave, and Valerie Ramsey. Arni attended the St. Patrick's Boys' School along with colleagues like Lieutenant Colonel David Edwards and Bobby Morris. Arni was a special person. He passed the common entrance, in fact, it will be the screening test at that time. At the age of 8.5 for the Common School. And this would have been exceptional for boys in the 1950s. He later went on to the Barbers Academy, where he completed secondary education. On leaving school, he was soon employed in the public service at the Ministry of Transport and Works in the accounts section. However, he was bitten by the migration bug that so many young Barbadians of that era were bitten by. And he went off to the United Kingdom in 1968. At the height of that mass migration by some 27,000 young people. He went to London and worked in the London Transport and later in hospital administration, the Royal Post Graduate Medical School, Hammersmith Hospital. The Walters family have always had a hunger for education, one of the legacies of our dad. The mantra was preparation, opportunity will lead to success. So we all prepared ourselves to succeed at the highest level. And Arni was what you would call a perpetual learner, one who takes advantage of every opportunity to learn. In the UK, he pursued tertiary education at Kilburn Polytechnic, Ealing College of Technology, and later Oxford University, completing the university diploma in public and social administration in Ruskins College. In 1982, he completed a master's degree in law and socio-legal studies from Brunel University. He also completed a certificate in professional competence in transport management. I said Arni was special earlier, but I will give another example. For a while, I had to complete a first degree to do a master's degree. I never did a first degree, but was recommended to do a master's degree by his lecturers because he was doing so good in diploma. And he went on to complete that master's degree. Arni had an interesting life in his journey in this migration process, 1968 to 1982, to London. He told me it was a struggle to contend with the cold winters and the living conditions. For example, having to share accommodations and the working conditions in those early days which were laced with racism. There was instances where you could not bathe every day, as you had to have money to pay for heating and to take a bath. And this was an eye-opener. This information was shared when I interviewed him during my research on return migration. During that period, he got married to Jenny during those early days, and they had 2 children, Denise and Ian, who we'll hear from today. Continuous education was one of the legacies of our father, who constantly encouraged us to pursue higher education, and in most cases assisted his children both financially and emotionally in achieving their goals. Arni returned to Barbados in 1982 and was first employed as human resource manager and later traffic manager at the Transport Board. He was later employed there as a general manager. And this is all in the presence of 2 of the great minds of Barbados, Dr. Don Blackman as minister and Mr. Codrington as his first manager. Arni later worked at the Barbados Employees Confederation as manager of industrial relations services on 2 occasions. And he made an important contribution in the area of negotiations of collective agreements for the private sector and training of employers, local, regional, and internationally. He was the employer's member on the National Insurance Board. He was a member of the several national insurance benefit panels for 12 years. He was a member of the BC and the Barbados Private Sector Agency, the subcommittee, and the full social partnership and its drafting committees. He served on the Executive Council of BC as 3rd Vice President. As a member, he would have served as chairman of various committees, including employment rights, national minimum wage, occupational safety and health, and trade union amendments. Arni got married a second time when he returned to Barbados to Anita. And that union produced Amanda. And you know, he was very pleased when he was able to see his first granddaughter, Zane, from Amanda. He was able to spend those precious last years with Zane. Whenever he talked on the phone, Zane was around, giving trouble. Or he was doing something with Zane. Arni's professional anchor was people management, or industrial relations, or as currently titled, employment relations. And this love started in the UK when he worked with Hammersmith Hospital there. He was a senior trade union official in West London with the National Association for Local Government. And through his association, he had been awarded a scholarship to pursue studies in public and social administration, including labor management relations. It must be noted that our dad, Gordon, was a teacher, and both Arni and I also became trainers at the professional level. Arni had a strong interest in human resource development. He became both an outstanding lecturer and a trainer of excellence. He worked with the University of West Indies at Cave Hill campus as a part-time lecturer for 20 years in the Department of Government and Sociology, lecturing in sociology, social policy, and Caribbean social problems. He taught at BIMAC for 23 years as a part-time tutor in employment law, industrial relations, personnel management, occupational safety, and health. He was also a tutor for the Surrey University and BIMAC MBA. He was a tutor at the Open Campus for around 5 years in occupational safety and health and employment law. And he also served as an author, coordinator, and trainer for the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture and Safety and Health and Agribusiness for 3 years. He has touched the lives of thousands of students in this country. In recent years and days, we have heard from several of the students who remind us that he taught them. His life has been dedicated to service to the country, sharing his knowledge and experience which he had acquired in his various roles. Arni in 2008 was appointed a government senator and Minister of State in the Prime Minister's office with responsibility for labor, civil service, and immigration by David Thompson, PM in the new DLP and the government. In this role, he has been government member of the Barbados delegation to the Industrial Labour Organization. He was also chairman of the Subcommittee of Social Partnership and a board member of the National Initiative for Service Excellence. Arni was also a senior assistant registrar and head of human resources at the Caribbean Examinations Council. He was a trustee of the Human Resources Association of Barbados since 1994. He was also a member of several of its committees over the years. He retired as Chief Operating Manager of Barbados Skin Industries Corporation when he worked with Barbados Industries Limited, which was associated with Booker T. He would have traveled as far as Africa to do work with them. His international volunteer work included Duke of Edinburgh Study Conference in 1986. In 2006, he served as Vice President of the Caribbean Canada Emerging Leaders Dialogue and Caribbean Canada Study Tour Coordinator in 2015. Arni was not a perfect brother. He did some mischievous things when he was young. He loved to drive fast, and life took some risks. He always told me the story of when he overturned Dad's car and tried to hide the accident by beating out the damage with a hammer. And this happened just at the road at Coleridge, on that road going up to Reserves. Definitely, you know, the road was coming from down with Wildy right up to the corner there by Lowlands, basically. However, a friend of Dad saw the accident and told Dad it was not a good outcome for Arni. I remember trying to give advice on one occasion, and he let me know that he was a big man. And you all know he was a big man. He loved to laugh, and this has always been a trait of the Walters family. My sisters and I have felt this loss tremendously. And we as a family have all had good relationships. During the lives of our parents and after Diane, my eldest sister, got married, the family had an annual trek to her home, Elam Park, on Christmas Day, and we sought to get together at several celebratory events during the years at each other's homes. In the last years when he could no longer drive, Arni and I traveled together to some funerals or to visit our friend Mitch Codrington, who was also a regular visitor to our homes whenever we had a celebration. And he was able to travel. And during that time, I heard a lot more interesting stories about my brother, which I cannot and will not share today. So on behalf of the Walters family, and especially Dan, June, and myself, let me say I'm extremely happy that Arni has been accorded this recognition of an official funeral, and that Madam Prime Minister has graced us with her presence, and our distinguished guests, and all that you all have been able to attend this service, as we give thanks to the life of a very special man, our brother, father, husband, and friend. Sincere thanks to all of you who are here to pay respects. May his soul rest in peace.